Welcome to the Hall of Fame Club podcast, now with Season 2 flavoring. Still your local source for the 2025 Philly season. And now your hosts, Chris, JV, and Keith. All right, welcome to the Hall of Fame Club podcast, Season 2, Episode 6 for April 15th, 2025, powered by the Broken Bell Network. Tonight, we discuss Rob Zombie, Baby Blue Bat Bloopers, Are You Worried in April? And, of course, we have Bluffing with the Cards recap, Juggling the Giants, and finally, are we gonna relax while fishing with the Marlins? All this and more on the Hall of Fame Club podcast. Boys, good evening.
It's pretty good. I like it. I'm losing my job again. Should be getting used to this.
JV, you were not here to write the intro, and in
Right.
your stead, I am here. So you, along with Stump the Fuzz tonight, you have a trivia question, sir, as your punishment. That is what you must do because you currently, I don't know, something about being a father. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means to be a responsible adult. You have to pay the price. You have a question.
All right.
How are we doing, boys?
Good. Doing well.
It's a little windy out.
Just a little bit. That we were just discussing in pregame about that Bryce homer. It's now 6-3 at the top of the eighth. You've got Alvarado with no outs, runners at the corner, and currently the Phillies killer with Hoo-Sung Lee. Is that right? Whatever. He's
some young guy.
Yeah. No, Lee.
Oh, wait. It's a different kind of show.
No, it's not. It's the same show. Let's be honest. It's like it can go that quick. It can go that way that quickly. So yeah, we're in a situation. Phillies currently do have the lead, and now we have a base hit. So it's a 6-4 situation. No outs. Runners at first and third. It looks like again. So nothing has changed. All right. Let's get into it while we are currently. We just played the Cards. We did take our first loss of the season. Anything good to say about that series?
Series lost.
First series loss, right?
You said first loss.
First series loss. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
First series loss with the Cards this past weekend. It wasn't pretty at all. The hitting non-existent. Two shutouts.
They got shut out. They didn't get shut out. Did they?
Yeah, Friday night and Sunday.
I forgot about Sunday's game. that's how much it was. That was what, 7?
Yeah,
7-0
and 2-0. Yeah, two shutouts. Nola takes the loss in the first game. Wheeler takes the loss in the second one. Sanchez,
Yeah. Sometimes that's the way it is.
Yeah.
That's why they play 162 and not 55.
It is why they play 162. I will say that again. And we're going to get to some of the critiques that are firing off in all of Philly sports media. I mean, it is everyone has an opinion. Everyone wants to talk about the Phillies right now. Fire everyone. Get rid of baby blue bats and oh my God.
His dick works, but his bat yesterday did not.
Well, we know it does. That's his fourth kid, right?
Third.
I think they're announcing their fourth, aren't they?
No, it's the third kid.
Oh. All right. Congrats.
Congrats. I'm glad you hit a home run tonight. We would have been nice last night.
2-run shot. Yep. He's the gave us a lot of insurance in this game, which we needed because of Alvarado's situation. We finally do have an out in the top of the eighth, so we got that going for us. Guys, let's talk about this. I'm not going to get into it, JV. I don't want to get you mad. I don't I'm not trying to start a fight with you. I promise.
Uh,
Okay? I promise.
No,
It's not.
you
I know
no.
this is going.
Fuck that.
It's not. I'm not. Listen, I'm sick. You guys all know that. I am not feeling well. I am not trying to start shit.
By the way,
Promise.
real quick, it is baby number 4 for the Harpers.
Is it? No,
Yep.
I was wrong.
Man, his dick really works.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. There's other shit to do,
Yeah.
like hit home runs. I don't
Crew-
know why I'm getting fired. I didn't do anything.
Fire, Chris. You guys need, if you're not on Facebook, or if you are, like, go over there. Drunk Phil's fans during
They're the
shows,
best. They're the
My
best.
just
They're the
always
best.
has me crack. His edits are on point. It's one of those things that it's,
I have no doubt in my mind he's drunk when he's doing it. Because
oh, I hope so. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Like this guy, he's brilliant, so brilliant. Mrs. Harper is halfway to Octomom, which is true.
I must have missed the third kid because I don't remember the third kid.
Was that? Do you guys think that was in poor taste? While the doing the baby blue
No.
bat reveal, or
No.
was
No.
it tone deaf?
No.
JB,
No, because again, 162 games.
Yep.
It's a game.
right?
I know these guys get paid big money and it's their jobs, but it's still a game. Still have fun with it. It's still entertainment.
Sure.
2
You know
outs.
what I mean? Like the Savannah Bananas caught on that this game is entertainment, and that's how you get fans in the seats. So if it's a way, if a simple bat brings people to watching the game,
Right.
go for it.
Okay, so we could check this off as that's like, this is what we're gonna go through, things that have been driving people crazy on social media, on sports radio, everything. I'm just gonna go through these things, guys. You're helping me out here. Okay,
Hold on. There weren't actually people complaining about the blue bat, were there?
bro.
Bro,
I'm on spring
chick
break.
was
I got
complaining
nothing to do. I'm sick. I'm
the
doom
the
scrolling.
radio, the chick on the radio was complaining about charity work. Do you think they're not going to find a way to make the bats be something?
There we go.
Like this
That
is
is
what
true.
Okay.
Okay.
I've said it before.
Okay.
Look
I
out,
just
Yeah, I'm not
said it to you
trolling
guys
here. I'm
before.
not doing this for any clicks.
no. I believe you. I didn't think the pencil bat. I just didn't think it was a thing. It was a blue bat. Like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
are we really you know what?
Listen,
I'm sorry.
okay. What are we going to do?
Drunk
We're gonna
Phil's
do a
fans is
whole
right.
hour
Fire
on-
me.
We're going to do a
'Cause,
whole
like-
hour
Philadelphia-
on you hating the fact that people hated the blue bat. No, we're fine. Okay. I agree with you guys. We're 3 for, like, shut up on it. Okay. There's so
Philadelphia
much
fans-
more. If you're going to fixate on this for the next hour, boy.
Oh, no,
you're gonna
no.
be- I'm about to, did you take your meds tonight?
No, I'm saying, like, I can't believe people were complaining about it.
No, please go up. Please
I
make
don't
sure you
think
have
the
your
answer-
meds. Miss, I love you, but I am in no way responsible for this. I'm just trying to make a podcast here. He agreed to this. Okay. All right. Let's go
Here's the
into
thing.
this one.
I've always said it. I've said it before. Philadelphia
I'll say it
sports
again.
fans are passionate. They are some of the most passionate people in the world, but that passion does not make them smart. So there are some smart ones out there, not taking away from the smart ones, but the dumb ones outshine them.
They're on their feet for Alvarado. I mean, he's got the guy in a hole. 1-2. Just
got a
fell
lot
it
of-
off.
he's
Schmidt,
got-
right? Is that who's up to bat?
Yeah. So he's up to 30 pitches. So who's going to pitch the ninth?
I mean, Alvarado's the setup guy. So
No, he's not. He's supposed to be the closer. This is the shit that I'm talking about.
okay, we're getting into it. Great. Here we go. Let's get. I want to save this one because I think it opens up such a broader topic. But I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Let's do it. Rob Zombie. Do you guys know the reference yet?
I don't know. Throw a bat.
I think
Throw
I
a
got it.
baseball.
Yeah.
Throw a spike. Do something.
Yell.
Alvarado
At least-
gets out of the inning from a hit to the track. Wow.
There was an old Flyers coach. I want to say his name was Roger Nelson. It was in early 2000s or late 90s, and he disagreed with a ref's call during a hockey game, and he threw a bunch of hockey sticks on the ice, and it was a terrible call. So he was right. And for Rob Zombie to sit there and not You know me. I've been trying to be.
Go ahead for people who are listening. Can you give them the Rob Zombie thing here? Like we just went into it, but there's no setup. You want to tell them what happened?
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, you know what happened, right? All right. So we got JT up to plate. Did you cue this up? Do we have it or no?
I can get it if you give me a minute, but talk about it.
All right. Yeah. So we got JT up to bat. And this is not who was that? Was that who was behind the plate last night?
Randozzo.
Bozo. Randozzo was not having a good night. I think I checked into it and there were maybe 12 missed zone calls last night that directly affected the game statistically. So that's huge. The one that we're specifically talking about that again, I'm not talking about robo umps right now. It will eventually happen. They are doing it to themselves. I am happy for it. So it's great. Look, you're doing it to yourself. There is nothing to do about it. Let them continue being the way they are. I can cry about wanting them right now. I'll just be patient and they will be out of that particular job function. That's great. But as they do exist, as they still exist, as there is the consternation as the word that was used today by one John D. Camara. He said, the consternation of the sport must remain. Well, if that is true, when there is a pitch that is 8 inches outside of the box.
I got the clip.
We got the clip.
You ready?
Let's. I love you.
Runners go. And a strike.
Oh my goodness,
it still angers me. It still angers me.
He does not react like that.
Nope.
Nothing. Not a fucking thing.
So he's missed a couple.
Not a fucking thing.
JT, for those who don't know, does not react like that. JT has
At
never been
all.
ejected from a game, a season game. He was ejected last year from a spring training game, and that was ridiculous. And it was reviewed, and the ump just once again is just they're proving my point. But that was an ump issue. Rob not moving is my issue. That is your catcher. You must protect him. He is now going back out there to go sit in front of this guy, and he knows the strike zone the best. JV, you're a catcher. How angry does that make you feel?
Just as a player, it doesn't matter the position.
Talk as a catcher.
There's certain times you want your manager to get up there and get fired up and help you with stuff. A couple years ago when Blind Angel called Harper on the check swing, that one, okay, Harper's reaction was enough for that. You can let that one go. But the fact that he didn't even move, and I think that was even Joe back then, wasn't it? Wasn't that Girardi still the manager at the time?
That's what actually got Girardi fired.
No.
I wasn't at 22 when he didn't.
No,
I thought it was that season.
That was Schwarber. That was Schwarber.
Schwarber was 22.
Schwarber, right.
When he went off on Sunday Night Baseball.
Right, Schwarber.
You gotta at least, if nothing else, you got to be on that top step yelling. That's the bare minimum you need to be doing at that level of baseball.
Listen,
here's
the way I see it, JV. If Topper did not have waiting in every player's locker a box of chocolates and flowers or edible arrangement, he owed them a heartwarming speech about how that would never, ever, ever happen again. Well, Topper did go out, though. Didn't he go out the very next inning to discuss the lights?
Yes.
The lights?
Yeah, the lights went out. Oh, baby, when the lights go out.
All right, never sing 5 again.
The fact that you knew the band is even worse because I didn't know the band. I knew the song.
You did. Don't lie.
So what do you do? What's your response? Are you Dave Dave D going, hey, Rob, we got to have a conversation here.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
know how
know.
much Dave wants to be involved with the day-to-day stuff, like the on-field stuff, but at the same time, you got to somebody's got. If it's not Dombrowski, it's got to be the kangaroo court of all the players. He needs to be called to the mat, and that's it. Like they need to go back and be like, okay, the team needs to discuss it with him. Like that's unacceptable.
Yeah. I don't. Who do you fire first, Kevin Long or Rob?
The hitting coach always gets fired first.
I know.
Agreed.
But here's what I'll say. I feel like Kevin Long might have more ties and bonds to the team than Rob does. I mean, I'm not saying Kevin Long's the answer. I just think that Schwarber absolutely loves Long. Schwarber swears up and down that Kevin Long fixed him.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
So
But he's even if Topper gets fired, Long I don't think would be the interim. It's usually your bench coach or your third base coach that are the interims in those positions. So
I like this fucking mummy manager.
Are you guys worried in April? Like what? I mean, tell me what. Like some people say the season does not start until Memorial Day to them because there's 162, and we've seen stuff like this happen all the time.
Yeah.
But do you see an upside? Do you see any type of self-correction or any type of hope, or is that just baseball? It just comes when it comes.
I've seen this movie before. It happened in 2024 playoffs. It happened in the last two games of the 2023 NLCS. Something has to give. So it's, Alec Boone, Brandon Marsh. Like it's these guys aren't hitting.
Speaking of which, Marsh just struck out.
There's a shocker.
Laughing his ass off at the dugout because it's so funny. It's only your career, bro.
I know they praised Topper because he was such a player's coach and he wasn't such a hard ass the way that Girardi was, and it was a change of pace. But at some point, did Topper go to the other side of that mountain? Is he too laid back, too not involved, too much of a player manager and like more of a friend? Like he's trying to be out there instead of trying to actually be the manager and sit these guys down and have those conversations. He's starting to look like the manager of the Brewers and Mr. 3000. Like he needs to have that moment where he's going to get up and get in an umpire's face for his players, or he's going to lose them all, and just keep showing his disdain. He's just sitting there saying nothing, doing nothing.
I don't know. I thought I saw him struggling with a Werther's Originals wrapper in his hoodie last night. I wasn't sure. Maybe that's why he didn't realize what happened. He said it wasn't that an egregious of a call, and that's why he didn't feel like there was a need. I don't get out there and argue things I can't control. And he didn't think it was the two statements that stuck out to me where he didn't think it was that egregious and that he doesn't go out and get upset and argue things that he can't control. Now
You can influence.
Let's just recap. The guy called.
I'm just telling you what he said.
The guy called strike 3 with a ball 8 inches off the plate.
Yep.
And then he called JT's home run from second base when it did not look like a home run. It was a home run. It was a correct call, but he called it from second base. And he called it that it hit the left side of that line. Get the hell. Like, it's just like, and then there was a check swing tonight on Jesus Luzardo. Like, the guy went around. Like, why can't you challenge a check swing call? It either is, it's either over the plate.
Unlike the strike zone, there's no actual defined spot to what is a swing.
You clear the front of the plate.
If you clear the front of the plate,
yeah,
that's how you make it definitive.
Yes,
I understand. It's a 50-50 call.
Problem. Right.
It's not JV. It's not the problem because there's 7,000 forms of technology in that stadium. You can get it from the top. You can get it from the side. You can break it down. Can break it down.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying there currently is no defined rule. So until it becomes defined, that technology means nothing.
I cannot wait for the T1000 to throw somebody out of a game.
Look, I 100% agree, and I hate it. I hate saying it, but the robo umps are coming because these guys are hurting themselves. Now, I know you brought up earlier about the 12 missed calls outside the zone. If they were bang bang, like if it was one of those ones that could have gone either way and it was that close of a call, I don't think people would be as upset with these umpires as they are now because it's close. And if anybody that's even watched a video of 100-mile-an-hour fastball coming, they're hard to see. So if you missed it by that much, not as egregious. When you miss it by that much, there's a problem.
So,
That's
a couple
what
of
it is.
a couple of points about that, right? You're first of all admitting that the job is too hard for a human to do, is what you're admitting, right? That's number one, first and foremost.
But it's not saying you should take the humans out of it because the same humans are standing there swinging the bat, making that same decision.
So again, it goes back to my original argument. It's not a hard job. I just think if you go, and you can't now because it's been in effect since 2015, you got to go away from the StatCast error if you're going to go away with, and it didn't help that Angel Hernandez was awful all the time. Like his calls.
Let's not act like he's the only one.
No, but he's the most popular one right now.
You shouldn't know any umpire's name.
No, you
None.
I'd have to Google it, but I'm pretty sure he had 3 straight calls in either an ALCS or an ALDS overturned.
That's the little bell. The Phillies win 6-4.
I just got the alert too.
That's the little bell. Hold on, they don't get the full. You get the little bell tonight.
I really think I really think, a lot of it has to do with that and like Joe West started CB, you're right.
CB Buckner, yeah.
Too many of these guys' names for this to be a question, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Like I'm sorry. Like you should know none of their names unless that guy he gave so much to charity and he was always out there and just a great person. Okay. I like that. You know them because of how terrible they are. And Danny, come on, Danny knows. Buckner, always worse than Angel, but I think
that's not something to brag about because
it's not. But I think Angel gets the most heat because Angel, most of his career took place during StatCast, where CB did not. So we didn't get to see how bad CB was, but people who knew baseball knew how fucking bad CB Buckner was.
I'll tell you why Angel gets the most most news because he sued the ML.
Okay.
So that's
why
he's
got a name, right? Because he's got a name for the.
He's like, I'm not as bad as everyone says they were, and they were like, hold on, let's pull up our receipts.
Right.
They were like Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty.
Right. And then I think the court said this is why he should never ever officiate another World Series. Yeah, we don't blame
how
you.
Bad he is.
Yeah, we don't blame you. We get it. As a matter of fact, the judge was like, "Oh, we get it."
This call too, buddy.
That ruling was like, "Yo, you know how much he fucking lost me."
You ruined my parlay.
But speaking of which, I think that's really where the StatCast error came from, and why we put so much more onto these umpires because we are so much more about the strike ratios, about all these different stats now.
Yeah,
because of gambling.
Yeah,
it's 100%.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes,
but yet let's keep Pete Rose out for gambling, or suspend guys because they gamble because they played fantasy football. They get kicked. They get suspended.
Happy birthday to Pete Rose. I think his birthday was yesterday.
Ooh. I bet you he didn't get any calls.
Yeah.
Huh? All right. can't all be
Anyway,
home
what's your
runs,
next
guys.
thing? I hate saying it, but I think robo umps are coming, and the umpires are just not doing anything to help themselves. That's the problem. Like if the
What?
union, which the union hasn't posted anything on X since 2019, but if the union is so against this and they're fighting so hard against it, then invest a lot more into the training of these guys. Figure out a way to help them get better so they're not calling it 8 inches outside the plate. So they're not missing obvious, easy calls like Jim Joyce did with the perfect game, stuff like that. Like, I know that one's been a while, but there's still a lot of other plays where they're just missing the call. And then don't be smug assholes about it when it gets challenged and the replay confirms your call. Don't be like, hey, that's what it was.
I think they're going to make it discreet, JV. There's going to be an earpiece. They're going to have like a kind of like a mic in their ear the whole time. They're going to hear a tone that tells them ball versus strike. So you'll probably hear a tone for a strike, nothing for a ball. They'll still be calling it at the plate. It'll seem seamless, and you won't even kind of realize it's happening. I assure you, you will lose nothing, and the product will only. I know you're kind of like resigned to the fact that they are doing this to themselves, but I am also trying to ease you into the idea that you won't even notice it. I don't think. I think they will make it a seamless kind of integration. They still need to make the calls at the home plate, which can still, anything should be reviewed at all times in this game at this point. Just because I was making a comment. Do you guys see the camera work from those first and third base bags they're gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
The zoom, like I would love to get better and different angles going on during the games.
I do. I think I'm a little more okay with the challenge system that they used in spring training and that the minor leaguers used, where if either side disagrees with the call, tap of the hat. JT's thing right there, he would never have had to flip out and get called like that. He could have just tapped his helmet, reviewed it, and like that. It's
Right.
not,
That's kind of
it's no longer strike 3.
That's kind of like where I'm at with the robo umps. Like that's where it's going to be. I think it's still going to be human, but I still think they're going to challenge it.
No, I think we're now arguing a new point.
Yeah, we really are. This is going to be
all three of us have now kind of realized robo umps are coming. The correction system to some degree. And now I'm thinking it should be all calls go directly into the umpire's ear. And you guys think it should be a check system, which is is a good involvement of the argument, which I am good with.
We're gonna, we already yelled at umpires for being blind. Now we're gonna yell at them for being deaf. So one beep is a strike, 2 beeps is a ball, and they're only gonna hear. They're gonna throw their hands up and go, "What's 3 beeps?"
So right now they get to check their hearing.
Yeah.
I don't think you heard 2 beeps, bud. No,
Yeah.
And I think they can make it any sound. I don't think it's going to be a tone. I think it's going to be whatever they need it to be. I think it's going to be piped in. Again, I think that is the evolution fully of the sport just because of how technical it is getting.
Yeah, but you can't have that because, God forbid, like a supervillain hits like an EMP and it takes it out. How are you going to get the calls coming?
Game's called. Sorry, guys. No electronics tonight.
I know he went extreme, but I think that's why you're going to stay with the challenge system more so. Is that, we all know technology goes down no matter what it is. It just happens. And
right.
At least with the challenge system, you can go to both teams. They can go down to the field and say, hey, look, the challenge system just isn't working right now. So we got to go with what the umpire says. You just deal with it. So that's why I think it's got to stay with the human and not rely on these guys just standing back there like slow pitch softball umpires, just kind of standing out of the way, waiting for something to buzz in their hand or in their ear or whatever.
Because if that's the case, then I'm becoming a Major League Baseball ump because I don't need to know the rules.
Correct.
I just need to know the ground rules.
Let's make sure we're good. We now have officially split the series currently with the Giants. It is a 4-game series. We have 2 more left to go. What do you guys? What are your thoughts on the rest of the series? We got Nola taking the mound tomorrow, and Sanchez taking the mound on Thursday.
They're probably going to split. They're probably going to go 2-2. You know,
Is that the best? Is that the best you can hope for against the team
Yeah.
like the Giants right now?
Giants are a good team.
Yeah.
I think they have 11 wins or 12 wins.
They're
a good team. They're a good team.
As a matter of fact, let me just make sure that I am
Yeah,
not.
They're
lying.
12-5 right now.
Yeah, they're a good team.
So
They're a good team. Like
they're a
it's
solid team.
12-5.
Yeah,
They are. And I'm not trying. I am not trying to take anything away from the Giants, but the Phillies are playing really some of the worst baseball. It feels like the slump from the London series on from last year.
Let's go over and
Let's
under
get it
on
up.
Nola home runs tomorrow.
I say he gives up just one, but a 2-run shot.
JV.
I like Keith's answer.
I'm going 3.
Wow.
And he still gets the win.
No.
No, sometimes that happens with Nola. I don't know. What do you? Let's take a look at the future series coming up. We got the Marlins coming up this weekend, and they are 8-8. They are not. They're doing better than the Nationals. They're doing better than the Braves. I think they actually took some from the Dodgers. If I'm not mistaken, they may have actually taken the series against the Dodgers, or maybe. Let me double check here.
I just want to let everyone know, if you're paying attention, the Flyers officially lost their last game of the season 3-0.
They were still playing.
Shut up.
All right.
That's
So the Marlins.
I thought they were done last week.
Listen here, the Marlins. They look like the Phillies right now, to be honest with you. In terms of like how they're doing in their series wins losses, they didn't get to finish out their series against the Braves. That was postponed. So they do know how to postpone games apparently in MLB, but just not our games. And then they won against the Nationals. They just took a loss against the Diamondbacks last night, but
They beat the bad teams they're supposed to beat.
Correct. Pittsburgh, they took 3 out of 4 against them. Does anyone watch Pittsburgh other than to watch Skeens pitch?
No, we don't. I'm a Pirates fan, and I don't watch the rest of it.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the minor leaguers play for the Pirates.
I'm assuming that
at least there I have some hope.
I'm assuming we take this series from the Marlins. I do. I assume.
Oh, we're gonna sweep them. Sweep.
Flyers have a game left, says Tyler, and he would know.
Ugh. It might have been their last home game. Might have been their last home game.
Tyler talks
Doesn't
Flyers.
Tyler
Sixers,
talks. He knows.
Phillies,
Be on the lookout for Tyler next season with his Flyers and Sixers podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna get him on more of these podcasts.
No, we're not.
Yeah, you're right. Nobody even listens to this shit. Anyway,
Rocky, and Rocky.
Nah, he did great, dude. He actually let you win, as a matter of fact.
Is that what it was? Is that what it was?
People like Tyler on this. So you
4 Rocky movies? No.
Right. No, but I'm saying like Fuzzy should want this guy on these podcasts.
Right.
You need me on that wall.
Right. You don't.
Sometimes, no, you want a challenge. You don't want to. You don't want the layup.
I like that. I like it. Look at his comment. Well played, Ty.
I missed it.
Well played.
Oh, comment.
You talking about? We got a high quality studio up in here. I got from the 80s.
So yeah, look, guys, I'm not trying to say I'm worried in April. What I'm trying to say is I don't think Topper has a clue. You have 3 different leadoff hitters since the start of the season. It's weird.
I think you have to stick with Stott to protect him, to protect Harper.
Again, I don't care what you do, and I think Topper knows he's on thin ice right now. He has to know, and if he doesn't know anything about baseball. But your inaction last night, your comments, you should feel the ire, and this is us being completely polite at this point. Okay? We are not we want you to do better, and we are saying you have to do better. That's all there is to it. We're just simply Philly fans. That's all we are. And we're trying to be honest with you. I think I am. JV, if you were a Philly fan and you have Topper on this podcast, what are you saying to him that's like not rude and not condescending, but it's being like, yo, dude, do you really want to hear it or do you not? What do you say to Topper about it?
I want to see some life out of him. I want to see some life out of this team. They seem to, like, as much as everybody says that, not having the daycare hurts, I'd like to have the daycare. It was a personality. It was guys having fun. These guys,
They're batting
this year-
173.
but this year they seem like they're just going through the motions, expecting the win. They're expecting their talent to carry them. And we've all seen the teams where go through whatever sport, expecting the talent to just carry them through. And when you're not playing as a cohesive group, the talent doesn't get you anywhere. Hard work.
You
will beat
mentioned
talent
rolling
if
it
talent
back.
refuses
That's a
to work
Dave
hard.
issue, not a Topper issue. So,
I think it stems from him. That's his personality.
This is what I need. Throw something. Throw a bat.
Well,
Do
he has
you
clearly
remember-
said
do
that's
you-
not
do you
my
re-
personality.
Do you remember? Do you remember the manager in Angels in the Outfield?
Well, how about we go with real people? Remember Tommy
Bobby Cox.
Lasorda's?
Bobby Cox.
Tommy Lasorda's an asshole.
I don't care. He got out
he-
there
no.
and he argued.
No,
You didn't
he-
like him because he was a
he got-
Dodger.
No, he got the fanatic ejected. Tommy Lasorda can eat a dick.
I hear you.
Bobby
and-
Cox. I'll go with Bobby Cox.
I
Don't
love
you dare
Bobby
bring
Cox.
up Tommy Lasorda.
Bobby
Tommy
Cox
Lasorda can
stayed-
eat a dick.
Bobby stayed back until he needed to get up and do something, and then you knew if he was getting up,
He
and
waddled
coming
his
out,
fat
It
ass.
was right. It was something serious because he would send the assistants in there. The bench coach, you go handle this one.
I'm not getting up. Oh,
You're the assistant pitching coach. You go handle this one. Oh, wait a minute. No, this one. This is mine.
I got.
He was
And
like
that,
this.
yeah.
Okay.
He starts
"Ugh,
cracking.
I'm stretching
you know?
and shit.
All right. Then that's fine. If that's the kind of manager you want, I'm good with it. I threw out Tommy because you guys were asking for emotion, and the most emotion I could think of is the Weight Watchers dude, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, that dude was really, really like happy about his
Fat.
slim fast and then his ability to have a sensible pasta dinner. So I wanted, I wasn't sure if that's the kind of energy you wanted, but I do get it. I do think that. I think Topper's comments are really like, no offense, I find them super insulting. It's like almost like you're calling us stupid. Like, that wasn't that egregious. Dude, that was fucking egregious.
I mean, I've been like
The very definition of what the fuck you should be out there.
One of the best catchers at knowing the strike zone in the league right now. And he knows how far outside it is. Like, and he gets that upset. Like, you got to match the energy of the player that knows their stuff. Like, he's up there. He saw where it was. So if he's saying it's egregious, you're damn right it's egregious, Topper. Get your ass out there. Read the room.
Know your players. If JT's pissed, you're straight up there. If it's
Right.
Harper, you go, all right, let's see Harper play this one out. If it's Kyle, let's see where he's going with this one. If JT throws off his helmet and throws his hands up in the air, you should be like, Jacob Tyler, I got this one for you, buddy. I got
Right.
you. Go
If it's
sit down.
Rojas, you let him get tossed because Rojas doesn't know anything. Or if it's some rookie coming up, JT has been around too long and knows the strike zone and is
It's
complimented
your
by everybody.
catcher.
Right.
It
He's
is-
complimented by so many people for knowing the strike zone. And
He's going back out there. Let's put it in perspective. Okay. That man is about to go back out there. That other guy's balls are going to be like 3 inches from his neck. I'm just saying there's got to be a level of trust to have another man's balls right behind your neck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Think about that. It's a little intimate of a position, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's and the situation. Like the bases were loaded. The bases would have been loaded. Oh God. Fucking hope you stub your toe in the middle of the night.
GTL.
Bozo. That was Rambozo, right?
Yes, Rambozo.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying. I shouldn't know any of these dudes' names.
And he got killed. Well, listen, you should know some umpires' names.
Yeah.
Just because.
Name the dude who dropped dead in the middle of the game.
Eric Gregg.
No, Cherry. Wasn't it Cherry?
Who's Eric Gregg?
Oh, there was 2 umpires who dropped dead?
Oh. Oh, we're gonna go look it up.
But yeah, I'm on it.
So all right. So then I'll go. So there's 162 games in a season. We're baseball fans.
John McCherry.
Okay. And there's
1996 opening day.
John McCherry.
And then Eric Gregg, right?
Did he? Kind of. The only reason I really know about that, I got into baseball like maybe my senior year of high school. So there were some wild things that happened that year that I know about that I was just like, wow, baseball's a wild sport.
All right. So Eric Gregg
I thought he just
passed away from a massive stroke.
Oh yeah, stroke.
At
the game, or was it after?
Sunday at his home. That it had to be nowhere around a game because he died at his home in Ardmore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. John McCherry died on the field during the Reds game, right?
Yeah, during Cincinnati opening day, Reds versus the Expos at Riverfront Stadium.
Yeah,
had a heart attack.
Wow, he died, and so did the Expos the same year.
I love this kid. Smack 700 that year. That kid. He's good.
So I'll go back to listen, for us it's different because we watch baseball and we just don't listen. We all remember Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. It was the best thing, and we watched a lot of baseball. So knowing an umpire's name isn't as egregious as it is now. There are NBA officials who you should not know their name, and being Sixers fans, we all know who Tony Brothers is and hate him. We all know who Randazzo is, and we hate him. We all know Scott Berry from 2011 from mocking Ryan Howard down the third base line and then ejecting him in a 19-inning game that I was at.
And you also know all of the NFL referees because they are actually listed under the Chiefs payroll under the operational department.
Did you see like four or five officials got demoted to umpire and some got sent down to college?
Yep.
And 2 of them were during Chiefs games?
Yeah.
Good.
One of the
guys,
I
think the Chiefs got 2 extra draft picks this year.
One of the guys I used to work for at school, he's a counselor at an elementary school, but he's also a NCAA college ref. So he flies out every weekend and goes and officiates during the season. He's like, there's going to be a big it just hit him up. He goes, there's supposed to be a big shakeup this year, and a lot of the guys I know, maybe myself included, maybe getting a call up. And there are a lot of internal issues going on right now.
I am going to tell you right now, the Chiefs showed they didn't belong in the Super Bowl because of the officiating. Yep. They shouldn't have had the record that they had. But that's just the way. But that's just the way football works.
At least four of those wins were questionable during the season because of official play calling, and that's obviously. That's a whole nother ball game. I think the NFL does use technology appropriately in the sport. I just think that they are not officiating their officials correctly in the sport. But that's, MLB is.
I do like seeing the news story come out that they were punishing these guys in some way, somehow.
They held them
That's all
accountable.
I've ever asked for. I want to see these guys being held accountable.
There is the
Every sport. I don't care what it is. Show me that they're being held accountable for making the mistakes, because you do it to the players. They will go out and they will fine a player for just running their mouth and saying something or doing something on the field. And so you hear about the fines.
That's distraction, though. That's NFL distraction. Yeah.
But I want to see that you're holding these guys accountable, across all sports.
What do we got here? What time is it? Hall of Fame Club presents Stump the Fuzz. Oh yeah, it's time.
In what year was the chemical engineering degree invented for Drago and Trey Turner?
So, here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I am going to. It's a tutorial course today. I'm just gonna show JV what we're trying to gain from this. JV, your question comes up first. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right. This is an example of what we don't want you to ask.
Jesus Christ.
JV,
How pissed are you going to be if I know this?
As you know,
I'll get up and I will leave.
if he locks this up,
We won't even do Stump the Fuzz.
I'm done.
It's canceled.
I'm gonna hit end stream right now, and nothing ever matters.
We'll play Nothing Else Matters by Metallica on the way out.
Just take the copyright hit right there. Boom.
Right there.
Watch out for that first step. It's a
doozy. Woo!
So, in memory of Jackie Robinson Day, which was enacted in 1997, which, as I was saying, was about the time I kind of got into baseball. I would like for you to tell us.
Hold on, is that really It's been around that long?
Yeah, 97. I think
they've been wearing Everybody's been wearing 42 since.
That's
97.
recent. That's recent.
Yeah, the 42 thing was relatively recent, and the retirement.
No, they were. No, I think the retirement was like 98.
90. Yeah, they retired the number in 97. I think
that was okay.
Yeah,
because I know
like I said it was my senior. So my senior year.
Oh, great! We're gonna ask a math teacher to math.
Yeah.
No. I'm trying to remember what was like kind of going on around the time in the league. There was just some wild things happening that. And I knew the significance of Jackie Robinson, even as a non-baseball fan up until that point in my life. And I always had listened to it on the radio because of my father and people I knew. It was just whatever. I knew enough, but not to be like, I love baseball. Now I love baseball. That being said, 1997, Jackie Robinson Day, first enacted in the league. What was the last Phillies player to wear 42?
Last Phillies player. I know last overall player was Mo Rivera.
That's correct.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the Phillies hadn't worn it in a couple of years before that.
He's either playing really dumb or he's got it up on his screen.
No,
just give us a name, buddy.
I don't know. Crocker. I don't think that's
That
right.
is not correct.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's okay. That is an example of a question I would never want you to fucking ask. So, so thank you for playing along.
That is a good question to ask.
Not a
It's super hard Phillies.
No,
You're super duper Phillies.
No, because the answer when Keith reveals it, nobody knows who he is, and if they do, they're lying.
Because I'm sure, like everybody, when it happened, when the retirement happened, and probably every once in a while it gets brought up on any team's broadcast.
Yeah.
About the last guy that wore 42 on their specific particular teams.
And then there's 364 fucking days you forget Toby Borland's name.
True.
Okay, because that question's going to come around the next goddamn year, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh, fucking, I don't know." Like nobody's going to remember Toby Borland.
But you're gonna have that one person that does.
I had to look back down. I forgot it when I just said it. I just forgot it again. Yeah, Toby Borland. I have to keep looking at it to remember it. It's how boring his goddamn name is.
So we looked it up. Like there was like, and I have a list of like the last all the players to wear, and I was like, I didn't fucking remember this dude. Like it was 94 to 96, and I did nothing but watch Schwartz in 94, 95, and 96.
Schwartz?
Like I knew Schwartz, whatever. May the Schwartz be with you. I don't. The only Borland I know is Al from Home Improvement. So I didn't.
Dude, I get it. I get where his name comes from. It's remember when people used to their jobs like blacksmith and all that back in the day. Your last name used to be it's John Blacksmith. Well, he was the blacksmith. This is Toby Borland. We know what he did. Toby Borland.
I don't even want to look up his career stats.
I'm not. Stop it. All right, now let's get into the real shit. Hall of Fame Club presents Stump the Fuzz. Hey, Fuzz. So I got a couple of questions here for you. Let's see what we can do with them. Let's go with this one.
So who were they submitted by?
Oh, by Keith. I did that.
Oh.
Jay's spending my inheritance down at the casinos currently. As a matter of fact, he did message me during the show. He did say, did you win anything for me? He goes, no, as a matter of fact, I need to cut back even more on your inheritance. So that's good. No, just enjoy it while you're alive. It's not like I could do anything useful with it while I have 2 children and the economy is going to shit. No, that's fine. I really appreciate you having fun with those little spinny wheels. Nope, that's what you need. So, Fuzz, the first pitch at Citizens Bank Park, who was that thrown out by?
That is a good question. So that would be 2004.
That is correct. It is. Hold on.
That is correct.
2004 is correct.
So when you say first pitch,
pitch is what I meant. The first person who ever threw out the pitch, the first pitch of the game. Not the first pitcher, the first pitch. We all know what a first pitch is, bro.
Are you gonna fucking continue to yell at me, or are you gonna just continually yell at me?
Oh my god, just answer the fucking question.
Right.
2004. This is a good one.
We've established both of those statements.
Nope, don't know.
I mean, you could have thrown out anybody. You could have said anybody. You could have tried to remember who the mayor was from 2004.
It wasn't John Street.
You could have that you remember. You remember John Street was the mayor from 2004.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
If not,
but you can't remember Jimmy Rollins threw out the first pitch?
No.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jimmy.
Really?
Rollins. It was Jimmy
Why
Rollins.
would he? But why would he throw out the first pitch?
Because he's Jimmy goddamn Rollins. He had a time machine, knew how awesome he was going to be, came back, told him in 2004, you better let me throw out this first pitch because I'm going to be fucking dope. Or at least that's the way I like to think that this story went.
Okay.
All right. So you are.
I was going to say Randy Wolf, but he was the first official pitcher.
All right.
You don't like the Wolfpack?
Look, I got a numbers game for you. I do remember the Wolfpack. Well, maybe we should do that. What was one of the most outrageous gangs of characters of fans? There was the Wolfpack. We should come up with that.
Sal's Pals,
right?
Remember the mustache, Sal Fasano.
Yeah, we should kind of recap them from over the years. All right, but you're not getting out of question 2, which is from 2013 to 2019. How many times did the Phillies come in last place?
Oh. "13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19." I'll say 3 times.
4. It was 4. It was 4. It
What
was
years?
bad. It was bad. If I remember, it was like if they weren't last, it was second to last or third. But it
Yeah,
was
they were not good, and I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt because I knew the Braves were always good. 2015, the Mets went to the World Series.
Yep.
2019, the Nationals won the World Series.
Yep.
So I knew that they were. I'm actually, and how many? So from 2013 to 2019, they finished in last place 4 times. The other 3 times, what was their record? Go ahead, Jay. Ask it.
Yeah, I mean, of course you can ask. Anyone in chat could have answered the questions, or they could have thrown it in there. But yeah, let me see if I have his. Here we go. I do have his question here, and I didn't even look it up myself. But it's outside the timetable.
You saw the questions that JV gave me, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, all right, no problem. Who holds the Phillies record for most grand slams in a season?
Ooh, grand slams in a season.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Von Hayes. It's because I know he hit the 2 in the one game. He had 2 home runs in one game, and I was at that game. It was against the Mets. He hit 2 in the first inning. Most grand slams by a Philly in a season.
Let me tell you what year it was. 1945.
Holy fuck.
Okay. And
Jay was what? 13 at the time?
Jay was minus 14 months.
Huh?
Let's see. Well, I guess the season started in like March or April. So Jay's November 46. So a year and a half, actually. Yeah, his parents didn't even get to fucking it. So
wait. Most
think
grand
about that one
slams
tonight, Jay.
Think
about that one.
Most grand slams in a season?
In a season. By a Philly. Gene the Machine in 59. Bobby Abreu in 2005. Just shut up. Ryan Howard in 2009. All fell short of this man's record.
Aaron Altair.
It is. In fact, this is crazy. I had no idea this dude ever existed. Vince DiMaggio.
Oh, it's Joe's brother.
Yeah.
I remember that I've heard like them doing like on baseball, the documentary baseball or like other things. I've heard his name mentioned with Joe. Couldn't tell you any more about it other than
He was
he's
with
Joe's
the Pirates,
brother.
dude. He had his
Yeah.
amazing seasons with the. This dude is apparently only nobody because of his brother being somebody.
Right.
But looking at this guy's career, like I think he had a 10-year career. He was with the Boston Braves, center field, moved on to the Reds, dealt them to the Pirates in the early 40s. He would be with them, and he had career high 21 homers, 100 RBIs, NL All-Star each of the next 2 seasons. The Phillies acquired him from the Bucks for lefty Al Gerhauser. I don't know. But he
Yeah, that's a good one. I would have not.
four grand slams.
I just want to point out. So I looked up after you gave me the answer. Most grand slams by the Phillies in a season.
Yeah, it's impressive.
It said that it was the most recent one was done. It was 3: Mike Schmidt, Bryce Harper, and Mike Piazza all hit 3 grand slams for the Phillies. I don't know where the fuck I was when Mike Piazza played. So I think AI is a little off.
Mike Piazza, the great
little bit.
Philly. As soon as you said it, I said the great Philly Mike Piazza.
It's like
I'm sure he looked great in a Schmetz jersey. Because that's what AI would put on his.
You can't even say Steagles because that was a real team.
The Steagles was a real team. So now we just have our last segment, and it's a solid good hour from us. Look at us. But let's go for it. JV, did you prep? You have a dummy?
I had a different one, but I have since changed it since of incidences. Not incidences. What's the word? Things that have happened today. Changed it.
Oh boy, this should be a good one.
Yeah, my dummy of the week goes to any adult/parent that feels the need to yell at a child during a sporting event because of things that happened within the course of the event, of the sporting event. I.e., if your kid got hit by a ball, don't yell at the pitcher and attack them and chase them off the field or chase them outside of the playing surface.
That can't be real.
I feel like there's contacts missing.
Yeah,
contacts missing.
There is.
And you need to explain.
It might have to go offline, and that's okay.
Yes, I will take that one offline.
That one sounds super offline because it sounds like it is an in-progress situation that I would love to know more about. But yes, the dummies of the week are the parents, I'm assuming, who get physically involved during their children's sporting events.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I've said it before, parents have ruined children's sports. Is really what it comes down to. And this was another one of those situations.
I will agree. I will agree to disagree because we spend so much money for our kid to play sports, specifically baseball. Like I just did a thing with Chase's baseball equipment, and thank God I got everything on sale. Otherwise, full price, it's like $3 grand for everything from top to bottom. But I buy my shit on clearance, so I'm not one of those parents. Right. So I think between paying for that and paying for the league fees, I don't know how Parkwood is, but I know for Chase's tournament team and showcase team, it's got some money. So listen, that doesn't get on the right. I think all parents are stupid who your kid isn't. I think
the ones
my wife
really referring to are the ones that have chased down officials through parking lots out to their vehicles. The ones that will scream and yell at coaches, and some of the coaches that will scream and yell at these kids like they're in the professionals making millions of dollars.
Right.
They're still kids.
Right.
We have to remember that.
And you got to remember, and parents need to realize that of all the people who have played in the majors, not the minors, in the majors, every single player wouldn't fit in the small stadium in Major League Baseball, which is Jacobs Field.
Yeah. 0.01%. Maybe it's 0.001%. I forget what it is. Of people that are currently playing baseball will make it to the pros.
All right. So who's your dummy of the week, Keith? We'll get into this offline.
Yeah. My dummy of the week is more of like you can't hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you first. And that is Rob Thompson. You're the dummy. I'm not the dummy. I know what baseball is. I know what 8 inches off the plate is. I know what egregious is in MLB, and that, sir, is egregious. You're the dummy. If you think I'm the dummy, no, you're the dummy. And I won't tolerate you calling me stupid. I know what you should be getting out of the dugout for. I don't know what you do other times. I'm not going to question that. That is your business. That's between you and Dave. If Dave thinks you're doing great, then you're doing great. But I don't think you're doing great when your catcher is busting his ass out there for 2.5 hours, watching everything go down the pike and pretty much taking a 100-mile-an-hour fastball for you every single night, and you don't get out there while he's struggling at the plate. You're a dummy.
That's really personal.
It's just preemptive. He said to me, I'm a dummy. And I say, no, sir, you're a dummy.
Right.
He might not have directly said it, but by insulting all of our collective intelligence and knowing what a manager should be getting out of the dugout for, that's one of them. Otherwise, I don't know why you're even there. You can just watch it from back you can just radio it in. You should be watching other things. I don't know. You should have a thing in teleprompters up in a booth somewhere and calling it in from there. Otherwise, get your ass out on the field and yell.
They did more yelling at the umpire than he did.
Just saying. Hey,
And
Fuzz, who's your dummy of the week?
And Philadelphia is like not a good place to fuck up a call because
Yeah.
we will troll you the rest of the game. Like the best thing about that is that it happened in the bottom of the 7th and not the bottom of the 2nd. Like it would have made his life a living hell for 6 more innings.
Uh-huh.
My dummy of the week is going to be JB for not knowing who Toby Borland is. My dummy of the week is Tony Rendonzo because he doesn't know what a strike zone is. He just, my dummy. I had 3 dummies of the week all lined up for last week, and then obviously, those 2 clowns at that radio station took over my pick, so I wasn't going to let it kind of carry over. It would have been, I was kind of like on the Rob Zombie page of you keep on throwing. At this point, I don't know why Edmundo Sosa isn't playing in place of Alec Bohm. The guy's not hitting. I know he had a hit tonight, but he's not hitting. I don't want to see Alec Bohm in a lineup for at least 5 days. Let him get his head cleared. But you took the dummy of the week from me, which is fine. And yours was one for one reason whatsoever. Like you took it personal, and I can see how you looked at. Like I didn't see it where he said it wasn't that egregious because I think I would have threw my phone. I don't.
Here's kind of also where I stand on Bohm right now. Someone needs to pull the young man aside. They do. And I'm saying this like as someone who's 45 at this point, and I would say it to one of my students, and I would say, hey, man, you're saying a lot with your face right now. It's not good. Okay?
Yep.
Stop talking through your body. We get it. You're frustrated. We also know you make $7.7 million a year, right? You want us to feel for you. You want us to get behind you. But your face is kind of punchable right now when you whine with it. And you're kind of like, meh. And you just make this, ugh, and you drag your body out. We don't want to see you do that. We get it. You're frustrated.
His body is saying I hate this effing place again.
It is. There we go. You just nailed it.
I don't.
You're not saying it, but your fucking body is saying that. Boom. How about that, Alex?
No,
Alex.
First off, he's making $4 million.
7.7.
He's making 4.
He just made they signed for this is his arbitration year. He just got back in February. They avoided arbitration for 7.7.
You might be right.
Okay.
And Keith just changed his dummy of the week too.
No, but I don't even think it's I hate this fucking place. I think he's acting like the kids that Jeremy fucking coaches.
Yes.
Stop it. Grow up.
Mine are 10 years old. They're allowed to act like that.
No, they're not.
Well, more excusable.
But you do exactly what I just said. You pull them to the side and say, bro, What are you doing?
Right.
Yo, you play this. Yo, you got 40,000 people watching you. You play it calm, cool, collective. You do, but you look like a man child out there.
And you're doing it in legitimately the worst city in sports.
Right.
Like, let's be realistic. Like JV said, he talked about how passionate Philadelphia fans are, but we are ruthless.
Mhm.
We are ruthless.
Yeah, I'm not feeling you, dude. And at this point, you need to understand what's happening here. Rob needs to understand what's happening here. Bohm needs to understand what's happening here. We get it. You guys are professionals. You are professionals playing a game.
And you're allowed to struggle, but you
Mhm.
can't let the fans see you struggle. That's all it is.
It's not
Struggle
bad.
and be like,
Man,
oh,
your face though. I don't even know if it's a. I just don't want to see you whine.
you got one of the
Right.
hottest
Look
girlfriends.
angry.
You got one of the hottest girlfriends ever. Grow up.
There's a difference between whining and being angry that you keep struggling and that you're messing up. You're allowed to be angry with yourself. You can
course.
throw F-bomb, but don't get that whiny little face like, oh, no.
Yeah, man. Once every 20 innings, you throw some shit inside your helmet in the dugout. You know what I mean? But they don't even try to show his face on TV anymore. I
No.
think they are trying to. They avoided a couple of shots after he struck out tonight.
And I know we just had this conversation. Like maybe he's getting mad because he sees 7.7 being changed to 6.7 in 2026.
If he's even a Philly.
He's too young to not control. He's too young. You're going to keep him here.
All right, so you're an elder statesman. You're like you're Kyle, you're JT. I think it has to come from one of those two.
Got to come from Kyle.
I do not think it comes from Bryce. Bryce has just grown into this kind of role. I am okay with him being a lone elder statesman and distinguished on his own. But I do agree. Kyle or JT. Kyle, you say?
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
I feel like Zach Wheeler could be the guy to walk over and go knock it off now. Stop acting like that. out there.
Why not Casty? Casty is pretty blunt.
No, it's. I'll tell you why it's Kyle, because he's won a World Series,
and it's got to be done with love. You think Kyle will still pat him on the back while
Yes.
handling it the correct way?
Yeah,
I think Casty might be a little too rough for him.
And like we don't know what Alec Boehm, how his reaction will be. His reaction will be like, "Who the fuck are you? You've never won anything," as opposed to Schwarber, who is a World Series winner.
Right. Okay.
That's where that's at.
Listen, I don't care who has the conversation. Someone needs to be honest with him.
It needs to be the manager. Doesn't need to be a player. It needs to be the fucking manager.
Yeah, right, dude. He struggles to find his Werther's originals in his hoodies. You ever see him digging into his hoodie, into his pocket hoodie all the time?
It's because he's trying to get past the Paul Malls.
No, dude, he is. I'm telling you, he is looking. What he does is he eats so many butterscotches that he takes the wrapper during the game and he puts them in there, and so now it's just wrappers and butterscotches. And he's just fumbling around for a non-wrapper and one with a butterscotch, and that's what you're watching.
So what do you think? You think he's got Werther's, butterscotches, and the strawberry candies in his thing?
Oh, he's probably got it. Oh, you think he does like that? Like he has peppermints, he has like an assortment of shit, just like and he mixes flavors like some sort of lunatic.
I hope he doesn't have. Listen, whatever it does, let him make it a lunatic, and so he can throw a bat or something at the umpire.
Oh, Alec, you had a bad
Sounds
one.
like
Here,
the
I got the perfect. I got it. Here, I got the
grandmother's
strawberry one for you. Here you go, buddy. Oh, good boy, JT. Root beer barrel for you, bud.
It's like the blue tin at my grandparents' house that used to hold cookies, and sometimes will hold the sewing kit.
Sewing kit. Yeah, it's not. You sewing kit.
No, we've used it for candy too.
All right.
I remember I opened up. I was in Sam's. I was like, "Oh, they sell these in bulk now." And I opened it up, and I was like, "What are cookies doing in here? They don't belong here."
I bought a sewing kit, and there's cookies in here.
What is this nonsense? This is going to be a great bit when I cut this down.
So JV, do you want to? You come on, bud. You earned it. I know you didn't know. Hold on. What the fuck's this guy's name again?
Toby Borland.
Toby Bort. Right. I have to look at the paper.
It's Al Borland's brother from Home
So
Improvement.
you ready for this? Mo Vaughn was the last guy to wear the number 42 for 3 different teams.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I was just scrolling through it.
That's
Do
kind
you
of
know
cool.
Somehow I got to
who was-
find out. I got to figure out when they made it officially retired because
I think it's
there's
98. I think it's
well, no,
98.
because some of these guys were still wearing it up as far as 2003 from what I saw.
They were grandfathered in.
No.
No, with the
It's no.
Mets, I think it was like 01 to 03.
No, when did Mariano Rivera retire? 2015. So it was definitely before then because he was the only one who was allowed to wear it. So it had to be in the early 2000s.
Yeah, but that's why I say like Mo Vaughn. I want to say it was like 01 to 03 with the Mets, and I think there was a couple other guys that had it in like 2001, 2002, stuff like that.
There's a team who came out. When did the Diamondbacks come out? 98.
Yeah, well, did they come with the Rays?
The Rockies.
The Rockies, and
Rockies-
Rays never
no.
had not 42.
Neither
They
did.
started in 98.
No. The Rockies.
I was
did
just
not.
reading it.
The Rockies did not start in 1998. They were the
No.
early 90s.
Okay, so then it was the Diamondbacks and the Rays that came together,
Yes,
right?
because
Okay.
the Rockies and the Marlins came out. I think. I think the
Rockies and
time
Marlins were 93.
92 or
92.
Yeah,
90,
I think
yeah. They were announced in 92 because everyone was wearing that shit before they even came out. Yeah. The starters and the chalk lines.
Yeah. Remember
that-
Charlie Huff?
That teal blue. With
remember
the Marlin
Charlie
on it
Huff?
was
Yeah, my brother
hard.
had a Rockies chalk line before they even played one game.
Yeah, so I think the Diamondbacks and the Rays were like 97, 98, and they just I think they just straight
They never-
retired it.
Yeah,
And we're like, no one's using it. You know who
Right,
the
but there
last
was
pirate was?
Jason Schmidt.
Now you must have just looked it up because it was
I was
yeah.
reading through them all.
That's where I got.
I went a little too fast with that. I should have struggled a little more to sell it.
I didn't realize I didn't realize Mo Vaughn wore it for 3 teams. Who was hold on? Red Sox, Angels, Mets.
Yep.
I knew Red Sox. He was on the Angels?
Yeah.
I think that's where it's where he signed his big contract. the
Oh,
Angels.
right. That's his right. His
And then he got traded to the Mets and he tore his
Mets.
bicep.
Oh yeah. He was ready to smash every record, wasn't he?
Well, he was hitting fucking home runs out of Fenway's right.
Yeah, he was the injury.
He was
injuries.
smashing records and scales at the same time.
Hey, listen, him and Bonds and all those dudes, as far as I'm concerned, should 100%. I don't care what you were on at the time.
Mo Vaughn is not. No, Mo Vaughn was hitting.
Mo
home
Vaughn was on 5 cheeseburgers before he went at bat.
I'm just saying,
That's
like, if
his.
you're letting Mo Vaughn, no, listen, if you're letting, listen to me, if you're letting guys like Mo Vaughn in, right, into baseball, who supplemented life with everything you should not be doing, why are we like holding back guys like Bonds? I'm being serious about that.
we all know why he's being held back because he wasn't liked. Mo Vaughn is the Black Babe Ruth.
I know, dude. Dude, he partied. That he was, yeah. Mo Vaughn, like I'm saying, but like if you let someone like him in, who's built on nothing but, like I said, cheeseburgers and beer and women,
There's no way Mo Vaughn's in the Hall of Fame. He was hitting home runs out of right field at Fenway Park. I don't believe you that Mo Vaughn's in the Hall of Fame.
I thought he was.
If he's in the Hall of Fame, I'm leaving right now.
I
telling you.
I thought I could have sworn Mo Vaughn was in the Hall of Fame.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, listen, Bobby Brady's probably going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Mo Vaughn was inducted into the Red Sox Hall of Fame in 2008.
This shit, I was about to leave. You started that with inducted, and I was like, X.
Yeah,
I was
man.
ending this stream.
Dude,
Yeah, he got 6. He got 1.
he was eligible, but never got enough votes.
His highest was 1.1%.
Oh my God. How many
Yeah.
career home runs?
Let's go.
I'm getting up to the thing.
I'm going to say
328.
Oh, that's
Ah,
not
sorry.
bad.
I'm looking at. I think this guy was robbed.
I was going to say like
Yeah.
250.
Career batting average.
Yeah. Holy shit, dude! This guy was robbed.
Yeah.
What is it?
His career. Look at his career slugging, bro.
Slugging, yeah, 523. Batting average was a 293.
So he's got 293, over 300 home runs. But here's the problem.
1,000 RBIs.
Here's the problem. While those are Hall of Fame numbers, for what he was classified as a power hitter, that's why he didn't get in.
He was
Doesn't make it right.
I know.
Doesn't make it right. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
I mean, he from 96 to
Here-
2000.
Here's the problem with Move On. And
His
I'll just-
lowest was 33 home runs.
I'll tell
That
you
was
why he
his
didn't
lowest
get in.
number.
No, I'll tell you why he didn't get in. I'm looking at it right now. I know. He's an error machine. That's why. He's an error machine. Yes, his OPS career is 906, slugging's 523. His on base percentage is awesome at a 383, 132 OPS plus. That's all beautiful, but my man led the league. His WAR is like kind of terrible. He's in the negative WAR for a third of his career.
Baseball Reference has his WAR as a 27.
That's take a look. That's his overall. That's his sum. That's not an average.
That's his career number.
No, it's not. It's an overall plus minus on WAR. If you take a look, by the time he was with the Nets, he had a negative 1.2 WAR.
But Ward wasn't around when he played, so that can't be held against him.
I know, no. The last 2 years with the Mets, he was an error machine. People remember him as a dud.
He did. He led the league in errors in 1, 2, 3, 4.
Keep going.
5, 6, 7 seasons.
Right.
Wasn't he a first baseman?
Center. Wasn't he an outfielder or two?
No. Please, that boy was not
Oh,
rumbling
yeah.
anywhere.
You're right. First baseman. Yeah.
How the fuck?
Yeah. That's what I'm just saying, dude. That's why
139
error
errors.
machine. Error machine. That's why he didn't get it. That's why he didn't get in. It's simply put, he was a bad first baseman, and he didn't. Right. If he was a serviceable first baseman, he would be would have been in the Hall of Fame.
They should just put him as DH his whole career.
Until Edgar Martinez got in.
Right.
I think at the time Boston wasn't thinking about that, and they had what's his face in on who was their DH in the 90s?
Boggs,
Wade Boggs, right? So they already had a DH. I mean, he can't he was a young guy coming up. He was supposed to be an awesome first baseman, and he was a piece of shit at first base. All right, guys, this was a great show. All right, or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm with you.
No, thanks. No, I really no.
Meh.
Thanks for having the Jay. Are you confusing Move On with Ricky Vaughn?
Yes.
That's another one I'll never not watch. By the way.
Bull Durham was on. Was it last night before I went to bed? I threw it on. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's Bull Durham. I could probably say every line, but I could. It's not like Shawshank for me though. Shawshank, right. I will not turn off.
No,
but I have turned off Bull Durham.
Bull Durham. I mean, I could take it or leave it.
Yeah, to each their own. I mean, I have seen it enough times to like it, and it's no tin cup, guys. That is our show. I really appreciate you. We have we're off Philly podcast is off tomorrow, but the following week we have our very, very big draft show.
Jesus Christ.
4+ hours. We have so many people on that show coming to tune in with us during the draft. Too many people right now to even mention. Do we have the Northeast Philly on Thursday?
We do have the Northeast Philly on Thursday.
What's our topic?
Our topic is bad movies that bombed or in your mind. I don't know. How do we want to attack this? Because, it's
simple. It's very simple.
What criteria determines a bomb?
Right, because
because
Batman and Robin was absolutely horrible. but it made a ton of money in the box office
That's-
because it's Batman.
That's what I'm saying. So before you preface your pick, you have to define why you're choosing it. Are you choosing it for box office failure, or are you choosing it for critical failure? Now, that is up to you. If it has become a cult classic, that's fine. There's enough people to always like something, right? You will always find a fan community for anything terrible out there, right? It's the internet. It's pretty shitty.
I'm a Pirates fan.
There we go. Case in point. So before you have your pick, you have to define why you are calling it a failure. And then it's only a favorite to you. It doesn't have to be a fan. It doesn't have to be a cult. You are just defining what it means to you. It can be a cheesy B movie, but I wouldn't suggest that because I feel like those are just like they're flops either way, and we love them for what they are. So like if you're like Bloodsport, like don't do that. Like
That was very popular though.
I know. Like don't waste it on something that
The Toxic Avenger.
yeah,
Go
I'm
back
gonna
and
groan.
redo
Like
my
the
draft.
Toxic Avenger is beloved, and they knew exactly what they were doing when they released it. They weren't trying to make Shakespeare, and even then, so I feel like if you pick something like Toxic Avenger, you're missing the point. But hey, we had someone pick Rocky 1 through 18 last time on 10 spots. So that's your choice. If you really want to ruin your choice,
And he didn't pick the best Rocky.
Rocky 4. What are we talking about? Rocky 4 was actually the most believable out of all of them.
And he didn't pick it. It still fucking boggles my mind. 2 weeks later, that wasn't the one he picked.
He picked the one with Clubber Lang, the fake wrestler guy.
Right.
Nobody believed Mr. T. That's B.A. Baracus, dude. He's not the bad guy.
No.
You know how to this day,
There's Tyler checking in. We love you, Ty.
I love you, dude.
Ty, you listen. We got you talk. You got us talking about you. So that listen, when you still get us talking about you 2 weeks later, you made an impact. Wasn't a
About
good
the
one.
clicks.
You got the
It's all
click.
about the click. All
Wasn't
about
a
the
good.
clicks.
Wasn't a good impact. Like deep impact, but still.
I had we have this guy, Tyler, just so you know, that like 20 years ago, he was like he didn't know much about football back then. I think he does now. I think he has learned from his faux pas that he has gone on to learn so much about football that this mistake would have never happened to him.
I'm bowing
20
out. I'm going home.
But 20 years ago, one of our friends said we were discussing football, and I think we were talking about West Coast offense, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, come on, man. Like, it's hard to prevent. Sometimes you don't know if they're running the West Coast or the East Coast offense." And we were like,
I'm out. I'm fucking out.
"You don't know it. You don't know anything about. You don't know anything about football." He said it with all sincerity. He plays
For
it
the
off like that
record, it wasn't me.
no, he plays it off like
And
it
it
was
wasn't
a joke.
me.
It wasn't. No, it's no one in this chat. It's no one. It's okay. I think they are good. They do know football now. I am not taking that away from them. I do think this, but you sir, will go down as that story I tell that we had a draft one time, a movie draft, and the guy picked pretty much half of his list was Rocky movies, sports films.
Yeah.
You're that guy now. I don't.
Take
And there's
pride.
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
Be that
wrong.
guy.
I know. No, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing right with it either.
The best part is we were halfway through and you're like, Fuzz, do you want to steal anybody's? And I was like, nope, carry on.
If anybody, I don't know. I think it's the three of us. If we are gonna have other people on, what I'll do is I'll host again. But I think that's and that's why we do love you, Tyler. Don't think we're we if anyone else attacks you, I'm gonna rip their face off. But I'm gonna bully you all day long.
Listen, we treat everybody just like the way we treat our Philadelphia sports. Yes, we talk viciously about our sports team. Doesn't mean you can if you're an outsider.
Yeah, if I hear an attaboy Harper, I'm gonna rip you and your fan base apart quicker than you can hit the locker room the next day and realize what the hell just hit us.
Quicker than Dalton ripped out that dude's neck in Roadhouse. Spoiler alert. And with that,
that's our show.
And with that, that's our show.
Have a great one. We'll see you Thursday.